I saw Black Phone 2 yesterday. Not alone. I went with my son. He's younger. He loved it. I loved it. It was great. It was fantastic. It was emotional. It had jump scares. It had some very impressive visuals and sounds. And when I came home, I was curious to see what others may be saying. I mean, granted, I know how the internet works. I've been around for a spell, and I knew that the moment I searched for it, I would immediately start seeing all of these wannabe philosophers criticizing it because that's what people do. People want a shortcut to everything, don't they? People want to get this automatic buff. And rather than putting in the hard work of truly becoming intelligent, knowledgeable, and wise, because those are three distinctly different things: knowledge, wisdom, intelligence, that all require life experience and dedication and discipline to achieve, but nobody wants to put in the work. So it's easier to take a shortcut. And one of the shortcuts to convincing others that you have great insight, great intellectual depth, is to simply come across like a skeptic, to insult everything, to criticize everything, and then we can just criticize everything, call into question everything, and then we can say, haha, you see? You say left, I say right. You say up, I say down. I am a critical thinker. I have depth and insight that you do not, but it's a ruse. It's a mask. It's silly. It's a trick. And what I find most interesting is that if someone enjoys a movie in the way I enjoyed Black Phone 2, that will appear as if, oh, I allowed myself to be tricked by some Hollywood studio. I must be naive because I liked it. I liked it so much I didn't run to my keyboard and start typing critical sound bites. But the real trick is to believe that a critic, someone whose mind defaults to criticism, is intelligent, is insightful. That's the real trick. I believe in philosophy, it's referred to something like the illusion of intellectual depth through criticism. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when I was growing up. There was people who would drop out of school early, drop out of high school, and you'd be like, "Dude, that's dumb. You know, you're gonna kind of not have a real job later in life. You're gonna be in your 30s and 40s, barely making above minimum wage." And you know what they would say to me? They would say, "Well, do you know who else dropped out of school early? Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein never finished school. He dropped out of school." And it was like, well, I'm pretty sure there was more to Albert Einstein becoming Einstein than simply dropping out of school. It's not like you drop out of school and poof, instant buff. You're as intelligent as Albert Einstein. I think he put in a lot of work to become the man he is known for today, but apparently not. So to some people, dropping out of school is to Albert Einstein as instantly criticizing everything is to insightful intelligence, knowledge, and wisdom. So I digress before I began. I do apologize. I was pleasantly surprised when I came here and saw a truly intelligent, insightful response, which I will read. The Black Phone 2 is raw, brutal, and unforgiving. Yes, true. All of that's true. The rawness was great. There was elements of blood and violence, and it was delivered with such intense and beautiful visuals and immense sound that just pounds at your chest that I wasn't expecting. And it was relentless once it began. It starts a little slow, and then it just comes at you. It is a sequel like no other. I agree to an extent. There are some people who I've read compare this to A Nightmare on Elm Street, where the grabber in Black Phone 2 is like Freddy Krueger in A Nightmare on Elm Street, and I can see the parallels, sure. I see it more as influence and inspiration, and I will tell you why without spoilers. You see, let's say you and I are asleep in the same room. You're in your bed, I'm in mine. Don't be weird, right? Separate beds. And now Freddy Krueger starts attacking you, and I look and I see you flying around the room and toss around. You're like a rag doll. Well, I might be able to grab you to help you, but I wouldn't be able to interact with Freddy Krueger because he is manifested solely in the dream world. The only way to manifest Freddy Krueger in our realm, in our earthly realm, is if you grab onto him and wake up and you pull him in. Other than that, if you're asleep, you cannot interact with Freddy Krueger. Not so true with the grabber. He's more like a invisible poltergeist demon of sorts. If the grabber is attacking you in your dream, but the grabber is running down the stairs, I can hear his footsteps. I might even be able to trip him up. So, slight difference. It's not a 1-for-1 with Freddy Krueger. This is without a doubt in the contention for horror movie of the year. Yes, as of now, Black Phone 2 gets my vote for horror movie of the year. I have seen Weapons, great movie. However, Weapons was a bit more crime, drama, detective kind of stuff. Reminded me a bit of the series called True Detective in the beginning. And then it got creepy weird, but the creepy weird was very funny. Definitely very funny. It reminded me of Drag Me to Hell, with the crazy kind of witchery and comical grotesqueness. But there was more humor than fear in Weapons, so it's hard to give it a horror symbol, a horror award of the year when I'm laughing a lot. Now, Sinners was good, but Weapons was way more horror than Sinners because Sinners is like, 80 to 90% mobster drama. And then towards the end, the vampires showed up. By the time the vampires showed up in Sinners, I had actually forgotten that I was there to watch a horror movie. And that's not good for horror, is it? Now, Black Phone 2 and Sinners both have great visuals, great sound. But Black Phone 2 is horror. It stays horror. It is relentlessly horror. It is unforgivingly horror. Yes, it beats Sinners, I'm sorry. Performances like no other. Visuals like nothing seen before. Cannot agree more. The devil in The Frost is fantastic, and there are so many wonderful camera tricks. I like how they go from the dream world to the real world with beautiful camera overlays. The alternation was masterful and incredibly unique, and I cannot stress enough how important it is to watch this in a theater. Whatever theater in your city or town has amazing freaking studio sound quality. The speaker system must be top notch to really enjoy the impact of this film. The Black Phone 2 is that movie to watch in theaters 100%. I ate an entire pizza and a big order of chicken wings, and I still needed more. This movie kept me going. Adrenaline rush. I sat forward a lot, and my son and I were talking about this afterwards for a good while, good 30 to 45 minutes later. And this is at the absolute top of the list. I hope there is a part 3. I heard small rumors. I think it would be wonderful and amazing. Don't go in to this film trying to be a critic. If you go into this film and you allow yourself to go on a journey, I'm confident you will enjoy it, with the prerequisite that you enjoy horror, you enjoy thrillers. If you have a history of liking horror and thrillers, and you allow, that's the key, if you allow yourself to go on this journey, you will love this film. That's all I got.